Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2023 Genesis GV80 and its 21-speaker Lexicon audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio adjustments, inputs, controls, speaker locations, then we're going to head out onto the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you're tired of hearing the same songs week in and week out, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. I'm going to record a members only sound test with tracks requested by members. A little bit of a tongue twister there. And you can check that out by signing up in the link below. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Another blustery late fall day here in Michigan, but cheered up by this beautiful dark green GV80 3.5T Prestige. All the bells and whistles on this one, and it's been a very nice car to have around. We've had the GV80 before in a few different styles, but this is the nicest one we've had, and therefore I gotta say we like this one the best. So if you do want to see more on this car or any of the other ones we've tested, different engines, etc., check the link in the description. Now we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio demo on YouTube. I recommend wearing headphones so you can hear exactly what I hear from the driver's seat. We also did a test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults just as the audio engineers intended, so let's take a look at those now. This infotainment system is a touchscreen, but as you can see it's very far away, so you mostly control it with this center rotary knob. Whoa, why did that change? It must have thought that I pressed the back button here. We're gonna have to go all the way back up through our tracks here. So it's a little touchy, but I do appreciate how well it works. We're going to go up here to menu and then down to sound settings. Our first option is a premium sound menu greeted with Quantum Logic Surround. This has 3 different sound modes: reference, audience, and on stage. And that's going to adjust how the 3D elements are placed in the surround elements in the system. If you leave it on reference, it's going to sound the most true to recording. Very front focused audio stage here. There's actually 5 speakers up there giving you kind of a soundbar experience. Audience is going to be kind of a mid-level surround, and then on stage is the most. So let's go through those 3. I find that reference sounds the best when listening to music that you really know and you really want to hear the details of at louder volumes, but I do tend to switch it over to audience when we're just driving in the car and have music a little bit softer. It's kind of cool to have that surround experience, even if it sounds a little bit more hollow. Below that, you have adjustment for speed-dependent volume control. This is going to adjust the volume of the music as you get going faster. We're going to turn that off for this test. And a startup maximum volume limit. I appreciate this, so if you were blasting out the night before, you come in, shut the car off, you get back in the next morning, all calm, you're not going to be accosted with music the same way you were the night before. Below that, we have adjustments for position. You got a front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance. Pretty straightforward there. Below that, you have treble, mid-range, and bass adjustments. Let's go through those. Trying to get back to treble here. There we go. That is it for audio adjustments. I would like to see some sort of 9-band equalizer, or at least a 5-band equalizer for a car like this. I think with luxury sound systems, you should get more control over your EQ, but that's all you've got in here. For audio controls in the GV80, you've got a nice volume scroller right here, so if you're using this rotary knob, you go up and down with your finger. I quite like that, it feels nice. And then you've also got a scroller on the left side of the wheel, which is my favorite way to adjust volume. I think scrollers really make sense for volume controls. For track selection, still a few different options. You can roll this tuner knob, you can use the touchscreen or the rotary knob if you're on the proper menu, or you can use this rocker on the left right next to volume where it belongs. For audio inputs in the GV80, you've got AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio. We hit media here. You've got Bluetooth audio streaming, a USB-A port right there, support for wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and a Sounds of Nature feature, which is going to give you these silly, kind of gimmicky nature sounds. You've got a lively forest, calm sea waves, rainy day, open air cafe, warm fireplace, and my favorite, snowy village. Kind of a silly thing there. Gimmicky, but I don't know, maybe you'd want to drive around, listen to calm sea waves for a little while. Maybe if you're taking a little nap and you want to drown out some of the road noise. A little silly if you ask me, but hey, doesn't hurt anyone to have it. Let's get back to our USB drive. What does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no USB Type-C port, which getting here in 2023 is a little bit of a bummer. You also don't have any support for wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and I think that's a big miss. Very disappointing, especially since you have wireless device charging here. Instead, this beautiful interior, you have to drape a cable through, plugging it up front there. You also don't have any built-in streaming services like Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal or anything like that. Maybe they could add that in the future with a software update, but nothing on our current tester. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 21 speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got a door woofer here, 1, mid-range 2, tweeter 3. Up front is interesting. There are 5 speakers, 4 kind of mid-range type speakers and a tweeter. You do get a really nice treble sound coming off the front of the car. I was listening to a song called These Walls by Dream Theater last night on the way home, and the cymbal hits kind of playing around with the brush strokes sounded really, really good in here. So there's 5 up there. You're looking at 8 so far, 9, 10, 11 on the other side. Below the seats, you've got subwoofers right there, 12, 13. Rear doors, again, woofer 14, mid-range 15, tweeter 16, 17, 18, 19 on the other side, 20 and 21 mid-rangers in the kind of CD pillar combo there. That's your total. All right, let's get out of the wind here. I'm going to get this stuff put away, and we're going to get out on the road. There's one more thing I forgot to demonstrate with this car. I'm going to actually take out my USB drive here and plug in this drive I got from a website called immersiveaudioalbum.com. They're not paying me to promote this, but I like having their drive here because they support 5.1 style music, and it's a good 5.1 style tester because this Lexicon system actually does not provide support for true 5.1 audio. I'm going to show you that here. They provide this this surround sound tester track, and we're going to listen to it here, and near the end of the track he's going to do an actually I'm just going to skip forward to it right now. Let's go right here. Take a listen, and you'll hear that not all the channels come through properly.
Test. Left, center, right, left surround, right surround, LFE. The immersive audio album.
So if you listen to that demo channel track right there in a proper 5.1 system, you'll really get rear, left, and right surrounds coming from way back in the car, and then the LFE channel, the low frequency, you'll barely hear it because it'll all be subwoofer. It should not be coming through the center like that. So obviously it tries to kind of emulate 5.1 surround, but it's not true 5.1. So something to keep in mind. Lexicon system is a good example of many speakers actually mattering. Yeah, it kind of sounds like a lot to have 3 in each door, 1 under each seat, 5 in front of you there in the IP, but you do get a very well-balanced, crisp, and powerful sound. I'm a little bit disappointed with the sloppiness that I'm hearing in the mid-ranges on those bass and snare drum hits. Don't know how that's going to turn out in the bass section here when we crank the bass all the way up. So kind of surprised in that sloppiness that they couldn't keep it a little tighter. But all things considered, it's a pretty good sounding system. So yeah, for this next one, we're going to turn the bass all the way up, see what these underseat speakers can do. Yeah, see, I'm not liking that sloppiness. The bass levels themselves are actually really good, and I'm getting a good amount of satisfying bass from up under the seat, but something is sloppy up in front. I don't know if that's a bad speaker or the tuning of the system. My thoughts on the 21 speaker Lexicon sound system here in the GV80. Overall, I really enjoy listening to the sound system. It's a very full sound, lots of low end, lots of high end, nicely balanced all throughout. So there are a lot of all different types of music, they sound good in this sound system. The only thing that's tripping me up and that's keeping this from being a truly top tier system is those mid-range flops. You're hearing them a bit in this track as well. I'll turn it back up. You can listen one more time when the music picks back up. There's a sloppiness in there. Certain sound systems you listen to and they're very, very tight. And the sound gets there and then gets out of the way and you hear a nice silence afterward. You're not getting that quite so much in the system. There's some resonance in there. Let's see. All that being said, still giving this an A. Very, very solid A. This is the epitome of if someone said, what's an A-tier sound system sound like? This is it. It's going to sound good in all your different types of music. It should have wireless CarPlay, don't get me wrong. And if we get into 2024 or 25 model years and it's still not having that, that's not going to be good for the system. But all things considered, very good sound. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the GV80, check the links in the description. That's good. Nice signal there, buddy. Oh, and try not to hit me. Driving in Detroit, man. It's every man or woman for themselves. We'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.